What did Jungkook really mean when he spoke those words about Taehyung? Was it just another passing comment between bandmates? Or was it a confession layered with years of unspoken emotion, shared struggles, silent promises, and a bond that has withstood time, fame, and pressure beyond imagination? Before you scroll away, ask yourself this. Have we truly been listening? Or have we only been hearing what we wanted to hear? Stay with this story until the very end, because what unfolds may challenge the way you see their journey forever. If you feel the depth behind their words, don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more stories that uncover what lies beneath the surface. After that confession, everything felt different. When Jungkook spoke about Taehyung, his tone carried something heavier than nostalgia, and something softer than simple admiration. It was not loud, not dramatic, and not staged for spectacle. It was quiet, almost fragile. And yet, within that quietness was a weight that echoed through years of shared memories. The words themselves may have seemed ordinary to casual listeners, but to those who have followed their journey closely, there was an unmistakable shift. It felt like a door slightly opening to a room we had only glimpsed through cracks. Their story did not begin with grand gestures or cinematic moments. It began with two young trainees navigating uncertainty in cramped practice rooms, balancing exhaustion with ambition. Jungkook arrived as the youngest, shy yet fiercely determined, absorbing everything around him like a sponge. Taehyung entered with an unpredictable charm, carrying both innocence and a depth that few understood at first glance. In those early days, their interactions were subtle but telling. Shared glances during rehearsals, inside jokes whispered when cameras were off, protective instincts surfacing in moments of vulnerability. As they debuted and stepped into the relentless spotlight, the world saw polished performances and synchronized choreography. What the world did not fully see were the quiet reassurances backstage, the late-night conversations when doubts crept in, and the silent understanding that formed without the need for explanation. Jungkook often described Taehyung as someone who saw him, not just as the youngest member, but as a person with fears and aspirations. Taehyung, in turn, spoke of Jungkook with a mixture of fondness and pride, as if watching a younger brother grow into his own light. But it was never that simple. The pressures of global fame intensified every emotion. Small misunderstandings grew larger under scrutiny. Moments of distance, natural in any long relationship, were magnified by fans and critics alike. There were periods when their interactions appeared less frequent, less effortless. Speculation filled the gaps. Had they drifted apart? Had time changed them? Or was the bond simply evolving beyond what cameras could capture? Then came that confession. Jungkook did not frame it as a revelation. He did not dramatize it. He simply spoke. He acknowledged moments of misunderstanding. He admitted that there were times he did not fully grasp Taehyung's feelings. He reflected on how maturity altered his perspective, how looking back revealed nuances he once missed. And in that reflection was something profound: accountability, growth, gratitude. The emotional undercurrent of his words suggested that their bond was not built on perfection, but on resilience. It survived awkward silences, misaligned expectations, and the natural transformation that comes with aging under public eyes. When Jungkook said he learned to understand Taehyung more deeply over time, it felt like a quiet apology woven into appreciation. It was not about regret. It was about recognition. Looking back at their journey, subtle hints appear clearer. The way Jungkook would instinctively glance at Taehyung during interviews, as if seeking affirmation. The way Taehyung would defend Jungkook's individuality when others tried to box him into a role. Their laughter during chaotic variety show moments often carried a familiarity that spoke of shared history beyond scripted entertainment. There were also times when distance seemed visible. Body language shifted. Conversations felt measured. Yet even in those moments, there was no hostility, only a kind of carefulness. Perhaps they were learning how to navigate adulthood while preserving something fragile and irreplaceable. The confession reframed those memories. What once appeared as tension now reads as growth. What once seemed like fading closeness now feels like a recalibration. Jungkook's words suggested that understanding is not immediate. It is earned through patience and reflection. And that realization alone carries emotional weight. That in an industry that thrives on spectacle, sincerity stands out. Jungkook did not offer a sensational statement. He offered vulnerability. He acknowledged that relationships change. He admitted that he once misunderstood certain aspects of Taehyung's personality. And in doing so, he revealed something universally human. We often realize the depth of someone's presence only after time has given us clarity. For fans who have followed their journey from the earliest days, this confession felt like a confirmation of what had always been sensed but never fully articulated. It was proof that bonds can endure even when they look different on the surface. It was reassurance that silence does not equal absence, and that distance can coexist with loyalty. Emotionally, the impact was immediate. Social media flooded with reflections, old clips resurfaced, and conversations reignited about pivotal moments in their history. Yet beyond the excitement and analysis, there was a quieter reaction among those who truly listened. Relief. Relief that growth had occurred. Relief that misunderstandings were acknowledged rather than ignored. Relief that their story was still unfolding with honesty. Perhaps the most striking aspect of Jungkook's words was the absence of defensiveness. He did not blame circumstances. He did not minimize past tensions. Instead, he centered gratitude. He spoke of how Taehyung influenced him, how their shared experiences shaped his perspective. That humility revealed maturity. It suggested that their bond was not frozen in the past but alive and evolving. When revisiting earlier interviews and behind-the-scenes moments, subtle clues now shimmer with new meaning. The protective glances during award speeches. The shared tears during emotional milestones. The playful teasing that masked deeper affection. These were not isolated incidents, but threads in a tapestry woven over years of companionship. That it is tempting to romanticize their journey, to frame it as an unbreakable fairy tale. But what makes it compelling is its imperfection. They disagreed. They misunderstood. They grew apart at times. And yet, they chose to understand each other again. That choice is what gives Jungkook's confession its depth. There is also a broader lesson hidden within his words. Relationships, whether between friends, colleagues, or family members, are rarely linear. They curve and twist. They demand patience. They require introspection. Jungkook's acknowledgement of his own growth invites listeners to reflect on their own connections. Who have we misunderstood? Who deserves a second look through a lens of maturity? The emotional resonance extends beyond fandom culture. It touches on the universal experience of growing up alongside someone. When you meet in youth, you evolve together. Sometimes that evolution creates friction. Sometimes it creates distance. But if the foundation is strong, understanding returns in deeper form. After that confession, the narrative surrounding Jungkook and Taehyung shifted subtly. It became less about speculation and more about appreciation. Less about analyzing body language, and more about honoring shared history. Their journey, once dissected for signs of tension, now feels grounded in authenticity. And yet, questions remain. What conversations took place behind closed doors that we will never hear? What realizations unfolded in quiet moments away from cameras? What emotions lingered unspoken until now? The beauty of Jungkook's confession lies in its incompleteness. It offers insight without exposing everything. It invites empathy without demanding intrusion. That in the end, perhaps the depth of his words rests not in what was explicitly said but in what was implied. The pauses between sentences, the softness in his voice, the reflective tone that suggested lessons learned over time. It was a reminder that growth is not always loud. Sometimes it whispers that as their journey continues, that confession stands as a milestone. Not because it confirmed rumors or fueled narratives, but because it revealed humanity. It showed two individuals navigating friendship under extraordinary circumstances.